What's up, guys? Bob here. Just wanted to say that the audio for this video is going to be a little bit scuffed. I messed up a little bit of the microphone settings, so some of the words slash syllables won't be able to come over as clearly as I wanted them to. This will be fixed in the next episode. I hope you enjoy. Nonetheless, this is Doki Doki Salvation Remake. And yeah, hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you next time.
It's gonna be probably very loud. Nice intro, definitely a good idea to have planned content. Yeah. Oh, we're back. Look at that intro. That's so sick. And this is also so sick, bro. Are you kidding me? That character's gonna be up. Sorry, the chicken is gonna be banished again. Is Oh. Right, Monika's not gonna load. And the game has already started, right? And just like that, hold on, let me. That was not even me pressing it. All right, so like I said in the beginning of the stream, this is a Doki Doki Literature Club mod focused on Sayori. What would happen if we were actually able to save her? Because if you know the game or seen me play it, you remember that in the main game, we were not able to save her. There was no option for that. No matter what you would have chosen, no matter what path you would have taken, Shiori dies in the main game. Now, this game is all about what would happen if she didn't. And then goes further, you know, I know Yuri is the best girl. I have explained this multiple times, multiple lengths of details, multiple documented. But yeah, we just gotta give love to the good mods is what we're doing. So we're doing that today for as long as I can hold out, because we're gonna be doing voices for this stream. It's the most fun. I get the most enjoyment out of it. And yeah, please enter your name. I will not do my actual name. For some reason, I do not like that in this game. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Just gonna see what this game, this novel has in store for us. Ah, yes, I remember this. This is green, so this should be Monika, right? Everything would be easier if I just deleted her. She's the one who's making this so difficult. Ah, right, yeah, this talk. Bullshit talk. Wait, what's this? I can't delete her? Why is it working? Oh god, I think I've overdid this. I thought I had full control over the code. This is going to be a lot harder than I thought. I know I'll just have him try and fix it. That shouldn't affect my plans too much. Wake up, Bob. Yeah. So this is also a very nice use of the why did I pause for seeing the word jerk? I was like, where is this text bubble going? Anyway, good use of the different color text boxes. I like that. I jerk and rise up from my bed suddenly. Wouldn't it be insane if the sentence just stopped there? I jerk, period. The hell? Shake my head and rub my eyes as I reach for my phone on the nightstand. It's around 2 in the morning, so I know I didn't get a good night's sleep. Depends on what time you went to bed, I guess. I rub my eyes and take a look out my bedroom window. To my surprise, Sayori's bedroom lights seem to be on, which confuses me. Maybe she just forgot to turn off the lights before she went to bed. That seems like something she'd do. Wait, what if she's up to thinking about what I told her yesterday? I guess it would make sense. She literally told me about her depression. That's probably something she wouldn't joke about. No one would joke about that, except for like close friends. Maybe I should check up on her. Or is that too weird? Call her up first. Maybe I'm just overthinking this thing. So this plays right after the day this plays after the day Sayori told you about her depression first? Or is it after Sunday? Is it the day of the festival? That I'm not sure of.
Call her up first. Maybe I'm just overthinking this thing. Pick up my phone and unlock it. Not before lowering the brightness so it doesn't absolutely destroy my eyeballs. Good one. Click on Sierra's contact and hit call. Ooh, look at this. This is insane. Oh, there's actually a timer. I want to see how long this timer goes on for. What's the max on this timer, eh? You see this? What are the limits of this timer? Is it like after an hour of like, all right, it's time now. You gotta go. Oh, why am I hiccups? Fine, I'll continue. Straight to voicemail. Her phone is off. Well, I guess she turns her phone off before bed. I should probably do that too. We could just turn it on silent, I guess. Suddenly my phone vibrates and a message from Monika? Why is she texting me so late? I open the message and a chill immediately runs down my spine. Hey, sorry to bother you so late at night, but, well, I have a reason to believe Sayori could be in trouble. You should check up on her. Not exactly comforted by the tone of this message. It's a little too calm in comparison to what the words actually say. Yeah, so this plays out on the day of the festival where we find out that she hung herself. And this is Monika trying to make up for the fact that she messed with the character traits. So she's okay, so I had that wrong in the intro. She still has control over that. Oh, Jeremiah, how's it going on, my guy? Hope you've been doing well. My name is Bob. I'm a streamer around these parts. And today we're gonna be playing some Doki Doki Literature Club mods. Yeah. How are you? Are you good? Have you been? I have back pain. You should get that checked out. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything about that. But I hope you'll be better soon. In any case, my worries are basically confirmed. I slip on some slippers and walk out the door. I hope I have more than just slippers on. Sure enough, down the road, Sayori's lights still are on. That's not a sentence, Gwent. Anyway, I can't really see anything moving through her window, though, so I'm still in the dark here. I start thinking back to what I told her yesterday, how I said I'd be there for her and all that. And, well, that I also loved her. So we took that route. Noted. I mean, I do love her, don't I? Being honest with myself, I'm still not sure about my feelings for her. I don't want her to think I feel this way just because she's depressed or that I lied just to make her feel better. I am lying about myself about my own feelings because she's depressed? That I don't really know anymore. Reached Sayori's front porch to let myself in, but not before knocking a few times on her front door. Her parents are almost never around, but they help Sayori pay rent, so I guess it still works out. Still, you'd think parents of a girl with depression would stop by just a little more often. I guess it's not really my place to judge. You can judge. You're best friends. You know, you can be critical about someone's parents. Slowly open the door and poke my head through the living room. At this point, it's impossible for me not to feel awkward. But Monika said she was in trouble, so I've got to hurry. Sayori, it's Bob. I saw your lights on and well, I wanted to see how you were doing. No response. I'm pretty sure you got to be a little bit more solid in these shoes here. Starting to feel anxious now, but I also can't help but feel like I'm really over. FBI, open up! Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Imagine if we go through the house like that. Sayori, open up! I brought the feds with me. Isn't this a breach of pride? Certainly hear a loud bang from upstairs. Sayori, you're right. Quickly rush upstairs without thinking. Quickly grab the doorknob and the sight in front of me is nothing short of horrifying. Anyone who is quickly triggered, look away, because these are going to be some pretty disturbing images. Sayori's body is withered in pain, her face twisted in agony. She's suspended in the air, her neck being crushed by the rope from her own weight. Her once cheerful voice is now reduced to weak gargles. Her hands are furiously clawing at it, blood flowing with every gash, staining her fingers in red. Her legs are kicking back and forth as desperately tries to break free. Sayori!
Get the whole PowerPoint presentation intro. Huge. Let's go.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
That's terrible, Entity. That's fucking terrible. But that is funny. Oh, yeah. Jan her. With extra tracks by the same guy. Okay. They're your alerts, dude. Yeah, I know, but you can... There is a time and a place for everything. It was your choice to play them. That's actually a pretty cool intro. We actually got original artwork in here too. That's huge. That's huge. I like the name Some Guy. Who's playtesting your game? Just some guy in it. Act 1, Savior. Came for me, why? I mean, you're the store clerk. I came from this milk. Oh, huge. OG track? Not OG, original. Oh, it's not original. No, I remember this. Ah, I have so much to say when I don't wanna. That's funny. It's almost like 2 intros. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take. I fall to my knees in pain. Wow, there's a lot. There's just happiness and then just snatched away. There's this. That was quick. Music cut out and everything. Fall to my knees in pain. Huh? That was strange. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, everyone. Literature club is... Well, it was probably a little bit more of a manly than was really for Monika, but you know what? It is what it is. Fall on my knees again, much harder this time. Dude, these knees brittled. What's going on? My legs are usually stronger than this. I nervously look around me. The atmosphere of the room has changed. Everything that I was just worried about is gone and is replaced with something greater. Okay, Neo, chill out. Okay, FBI, maybe it's you. I don't know. I'm thrown to the floor by some otherworldly force and my vision goes entirely black. Can somebody turn the lights on? Oh, it's Sayori. Hello? Oi! A girl with pinkish red hair appears in front of me, staring at me blankly. Never seen this girl in my life. I know I haven't. Yet I'm somehow aware of her presence. She's always been here. In fact, there are 2 others. No, 3. How is that possible? Quickly stand up again and regain my bearings. Oh my gosh, sorry, I never do this. Whoa, okay. My world crumbles around me once again for a split second. Is this the napping club? What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Nothing's wrong. This is... I paused, not out of embarrassment or anything like how I was feeling before. It's pure and utter fear. Why are we zooming in? What will happen if we keep this conversation going? This isn't normal. No shit, Sherlock. We're zooming in. We're getting our close up. That's a bit too close. And I have to find out why. This is the literature club. It's so great to have you. And jump scare all of a sudden. Pow, bitch. It all began there. My epiphany. And it all became painfully clear to me. Everything happens for a reason. Right? It wasn't always like this. No, I never wanted to believe it. Despite everything coming apart around me, I never wanted to believe that all my friends were all fake. Sayori and the others were the only light I had. But even that had to fade away eventually. And I'm here now. This is the decision I've made. This isn't how things were supposed to go, but I'll play along. I'm serious. Okay. What, in the hospital? My legs have been bouncing up and down furiously as I wait for the doctors to let me see Sayori. Ah, okay, so we're back to... Hold on, let me just turn this down. Just a tad bit. There we go. So I can hear myself think. Thank you. It all happened so fast. From the moment I lifted her up and removed the noose from to the ambulance taking her away. It's been a few hours now and still no signs of any doctors coming to tell me what I really want to hear. She's going to be okay. Find a place into my hands. I don't know if she's going to be okay. How could this happen? Did I let this happen? Was this all my fault? I should have been there for her. I should have been the friend she needed. But I was so tense, I never realized that the girl I knew from my childhood wasn't the same anymore. I realize now, more than ever, how terrible of a friend I've been to her. Called her out on her insecurities in front of all her friends, straight up insulted her. Hell, I think I even ignored her for Natsuki at one point. How could I take her for granted for so long? She's been my friend ever since we were kids. After hanging out with her again after so much time has passed, I realized that I do feel something for her. It was too late for that. Hey, Bob, you doing all right? Oh, wow, nice outfit. I look up to see his familiar face, the president of the literature club. I'm okay. But Sayori... I know, I understand. Did she... Slowly nod my head. I see, I'm so sorry, Bob. I really should have warned you sooner. Warned me? Are you saying you knew this was going to happen? No, not like that at all. But I feel like I should have. Monika sighs and looks down at the floor. Do you mind if I sit next to you? Shake my head and move aside on the couch I was sitting on. Notice myself shivering quite a bit, probably due to all of these nerves running through me right now. Oh, I guess Monika noticed and quickly rummages through her bag for a blanket of some sort. Bob, you must be freezing. You're still in your pajamas. Yeah, well, I didn't exactly have time to change into anything more proper. Don't reject her blanket offer. I don't reject her blanket offer, though. Guess it's still a little chilly in here. You seem pretty dressed up, though. Well, you see, the truth is, Sayori and I did talk before all of this happened. She really did insist on me staying home that day we were supposed to work together. But the way she was typing... The way she worded her sentences... The way she was typing, by the way her Snapchat bubble flickered, it was almost like she was telling me something. It just didn't seem like her. And I let myself get further and further away from her as I got older. You're not blaming yourself for all of this, are you? I don't know anymore. That's the cold hard truth. I told her I loved her thinking it would help. It didn't. I let myself drift apart from her, harming our friendship. Wasn't I able to tell her how I was feeling? Did she try asking me for help? And was I just too stupid to notice? Maybe I've been able to read her better if we hadn't drifted apart. I clenched my fists and slammed them on my knees. Why her? Why did this have to happen to her? My vision starts to blur as tears begin to seep out and fall into my arms. Monika stays quiet, and my quiet sob starts to mix with the sound of the hospital. This is a pretty dark beginning. For an otherwise pretty happy mod, I hope. Some time passes after Monika joined me in the waiting room. Still no sign of any doctors or nurses to tell me when I can see her. I guess I'm not too familiar with the process in stopping someone from committing suicide, nor the procedures that have to take place to try and fix whatever she damages. Her distressed face keeps flashing in my mind every time I close my eyes. Pull my phone out of my pocket to check the time. 6 in the morning. I'd probably be getting ready for school around this time. 6 in the morning? Hey, yo? These guys are troopers. Hey, Monika, could you call the school and let them know I'm not going to be absent today? Monika shakes her head. No need to worry, Bob. I've already sent emails to my teachers and explained that an emergency came up.
Plus, I'm sure the hospital already notified the school of the situation. Pretty sure your teachers will understand. Slowly nod my head and look down at my hands. Suddenly, a doctor comes out of the nearby room, looking quite tired. He nods and motions me to come towards him. Monica, can you come with me? I don't know if I can handle what I'm about to see myself.
Of course, I planned on it.
I hand the blanket back to Monica and get up from the couch. I walk swiftly to the doctor and start pestering him with questions. Is she okay? How is she? Is she in pain? How long until she... The doctor, to my surprise, chuckles and pats my shoulder. She's alright, son. You actually saved her life.
Saved?
Saved her life?
What?
Yeah. We only had to intubate her for a few short moments. If you had been any later, I think she would have been in a much worse condition. I saved her. What is it about those words that feels so hard to believe? Though she did get pretty bruised up from that rope. A few of her veins were ruptured, but luckily no How do you say that word? Arteries? Or damage? Hold on. I know this is like a serious moment at all, but I need to know.
Arteries.
Arteries. Noted. Thanks. Arteries. That's the word. The word of the day. Arteries. What it means? I have no clue. To put it simply, she'll be okay. Notified her parents and contacted her school. We're going to keep her here for a few days. She's in a medically induced coma at the moment. If you'd like to see her, you can go ahead. The doctor slowly opens the large door to reveal somewhat large hospital room. Slowly step inside, not before taking a deep breath and preparing myself for what I'm about to see. Monika follows shortly behind me. Quickly walk in and stop dead in my tracks. She seems to be sleeping soundly, but I know it's just the meds keeping her under. Her neck is bandaged up and I assume her fingers aren't much different. Oh God, Sayori. Wow. Slowly walk up to the bed and gently place my hand over hers. The doctor's words ring back to me. You saved her life. I still don't feel like I did. I feel like all of this just made it way worse. Suicide. The word has never felt this heavy before. I mean, sure, it's a depressing subject, but it carries a much heavier meaning when you catch your best friend hanging herself. I thought my worries would ease after I saw her, but now they're growing. What's going to happen when she wakes up? What's she going to say to me? What she's going to think when she realizes I'm the one who stopped her from this happening? Is she going to hate me? Turn towards Monika, who's lost in thought as she stares at Sayori. Her vision begins to blur and tears start to fall on top of Sayori's hand. But you know what? As much as this straight up sucks, she's alive. My best friend is still alive. The Dark Matter in the background is proof of that. Through my blurred vision, I reach over and brush away strands of Sayori's hair so it doesn't block her face. Everything will be okay, Sayori. I'm here for you. That's tough. That's rough. Cool art, though. Like it. Some time has passed. I guess I must have dozed off in this chair, not too far from Sayori's bed. Slowly rub my eyes, and to my surprise, I see a familiar face in front of me. Sayori's mother sitting in the chair next to Sayori. She looks incredibly distressed and upset. Not that it's any surprise to me. Nah, it's not really. It's how parents should react. I've only met her a few times, mostly when I was younger. When Sayori turned 18, her parents began working harder and longer shifts, with her dad moving overseas. They don't really stop by too often these days, but I guess they figured Sayori would take care of herself, which is kind of baffling to me because surely they would know her depression, right? Unless Sayori kept this from him as well? She notices I'm awake and gives me a sad smile. I give her a light smile back. We don't really say much to each other, though. There's nothing either of us that can say that would really make this situation feel any different. Pull out my phone and check the time. Most of the morning has gone by already, and I'm starting to feel quite hungry. How have you been, Bob? Slightly jump after hearing her speak. She isn't looking at me, but I notice the tears rolling down her cheeks. I'm okay.
Good. That's wonderful.
Her voice cracks. It's almost as if she's trying to keep herself together by asking me this question. Notice Monika is also nowhere to be seen. I assume she must have headed back to school without telling me. Sierra's mother checks her watch and looks rather surprised.
Forgive me, Bob, but could I ask a huge favor from you?
Of course, anything.
I've really got to get going. My job doesn't exactly give me much free time. I can't be away for too long. As much as I would love to stay here and watch her, I can't afford to lose this job. I wouldn't be able to afford the hospital bills if I did. But her dad is on his way, so if you don't have to burden yourself by staying here.
She stutters over her words. Excuse me. It's okay, ma'am. I promise I'll take good care of her. It's no trouble. She begins to cry a bit harder this time. She manages to say, "Thank you," before bowing and walking out of the room. Guess I know a little more about why her parents are gone most of the time, working hard to support that daughter. Wonder if Sierra ever felt burdened by that. Got up from the chair and I slept in and walk over to Sierra's bedside. This again. Hey, Siri. Just wanted to talk, I guess. Not that you can really hear me. I wanted to apologize for everything. It's my fault you're in a situation. If only I had come up to you sooner. No, if only if I stayed by your side. If only I kept that promise I made to you all those years ago. You know, the one? Same day I helped you with win that big stuffed cow you wanted so badly. I'd always be your bestest friend. I sure am a horrible best friend for letting things end up this way. I feel a tear roll down my cheek. I'm just glad you're alive, Siri. I don't know what I would do myself if I lost you. I softly placed my hand on her bandaged one. But I promise, I'll always be here for you, through thick and thin, because that's what friends do. I lift her hand up and out of the blanket and kiss it softly. I place her hand underneath the blanket. I feel a bit embarrassed. I don't really care. Even after all this, I still think I'm in love with Sierra. And I always have been. Have I? How do you say that sentence with so much conviction and then the next it's just that? Let's just do it like this. I like to have a clean for this whole ordeal. I don't even know the real you. I nearly jumped after hearing a light knock on the door. Oh, I nearly jumped after hearing a light knock on the door. Ah, you're still here. Someone was looking for you. I thought you had already left with your friend from earlier. Shake my head. Well, I'll have to ask you to leave the room because we need to perform a few checkups on Miss Sierra here. No last name? Oh, sure. Sorry. Who was looking for me? He smiles and guides me out of the room. Right, I believe they're a friend of Sierra's. They wanted me to invite you to lunch. Who could that be? Monika, maybe? She's in the waiting room. We should be finished within the hour. Thanks, doctor. Walk out of the room and the door slowly closes behind me. I sigh and rub my eyes to hide the tears that may be left behind. The hallways of the hospital are a lot more lively than before, with the doctors and nurses walking back and forth tending to many other patients. I walk down the waiting room and I'm surprised to be greeted with... Hey, Bob. Surprised to see me here? Yeah, actually, how did you... Well, Monika told us all about it and canceled the festival as well. I see. Not sure how I feel about Monika just going and telling Natsuki and Yuri about all this. Sari barely wanted to tell me about her depression. I can't imagine how she'd feel with the whole club knowing about it. Listen, I'm pretty hungry. Well, do you want to go grab a bite to eat in the cafeteria? I only nod in response. Trying to rob me of my money, I see. How dare she? So Natsuki and I grabbed 2 sandwiches from the cafeteria riding bag to the waiting room to eat. It was extremely crowded. Natsuki didn't keen on sitting in there, so we decided on the waiting room. Hey, aren't you going to go back to school? Are you kidding? Let you skip a whole day too? As if. Besides, why would I want to go back to school after what happened to Sayori? I really wouldn't be able to focus. Really? Were you guys close or something? Come on, dude. Natsuki gave me a look that immediately makes me feel like an idiot. I guess this kind of proves I really don't know Sayori or Natsuki all that well at all. I like these expressions, though. These expressions were not in the base game. I tried dating her, too. Yep, because this is the route where Yuri is not in the picture. We had this option between Natsuki and Sayori. And we got Sayori, which is better. I will not state my how do I say this elegantly? I will not state my opinion on Natsuki. I will refrain from doing so. These expressions are huge. Natsuki grumbles to herself and takes a pretty hearty bout out of her sandwich. Well, I wouldn't call it close, but she was my best friend. That's what I would think would be obvious to you. But I guess I was wrong to assume about that about you. Shake my head and continue eating my lunch. Continue eating in silence. There isn't really much to talk about anyway. I noticed she finished eating a lot faster than I did. As if she was starving or something, hint hint. Ah, now that's a good sandwich. What? Really? You think so? It was pretty bland to me. Yeah, well, you wouldn't know good food if it hit you in the face. Ah, right. Forgot who I was talking to. Shrug my shoulders and continue eating. I'll admit, this was a little bit of a nice distraction from all this. What about this conversation is nice? Now my mind is shifted back to Sayori in her current state. Hold on. Ooh. I'm good. Wonder if she's awake yet. Is she awake? Is she awake? Around 30 minutes go by and the doctor finally appears from Sayori's room down the hallway. He flashes me a thumbs up and gestures that it's okay for me to go back. Come on, Natsuki, let's see Sayori. Oh, already? Oh, okay. Slowly walk in and Natsuki follows shortly after. I hear a slight gasp escape her before she looks away. Hey, you're gonna be alright? Yeah, it's just... Natsuki tries very hard to hide her emotions in her voice, but fails. It's just really weird seeing her like that. All the tubes in her body. Is this also my fault? Of course not. Don't blame yourself for this. Nobody knew this could have happened. Natsuki quickly wipes away her tears and takes a deep breath. Okay. I'm sure she'd hate me see crying like this anyway. Look, just don't tell anybody you saw me like this, okay? I wouldn't even think of it. Following Natsuki, she slowly walks up to Sayori. She sniffles slightly and rubs her eyes before speaking. Hey, Sayori. It's me, Natsuki. Gosh, this is so weird, isn't it? Can you even hear what I'm saying right now? I feel like an idiot. But, well, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate having you as a friend, and I'm really glad you're okay. I know it was kind of mean to you at first, but, well, I just didn't really get to know you all that well, that's all. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, you really brought a lot to the club, and I can't imagine anybody else as its vice president. So you better get better fast. I don't think I'd ever forgive you if you let me alone with Bob. Chuckle to myself. Natsuki giggles as well, not before wiping away a tear from her eye. Well, I honestly wasn't expecting that from you. What? You don't think I have a heart or something? Well, no, I guess I don't really know what I expected. Let me ask you something, Bob. Just last week, if I had to guess, you were trying to hit on me, weren't you? This is not the time! I know your best friend is lying over there. I don't know about the fact that you told her you loved her, yada yada yada. But let me talk about us. Let me talk about the elephant in the room here. All right, that is us, you and me. All right, compadre. Nearly fall over from Natsuki's extremely forward question. Thank you for also noticing. Not something I know for myself, really. Something just about me to go after her, almost as if it wasn't my own decision. Oh, we're gonna play the programming card on this. So are we now all free from the system? Are the red flags being... Hold on, where's mine? There we go. There we go. There's my red flag. Hell yeah. We are free from the system, boys. I knew this accessory came in clutch one day. Regardless of what happened, the hard truth is that I did try to go for her. I mean, one look at my poems would tell you that. Why else would I bother writing about puppies and kittens and all of that? Stupid animals. I like snails. Well, I didn't really expect you to be so for it with me, first of all. Well, I figured I'd ask, you know? I don't think there's really a time to ask anyway. That is true. There isn't a right time, but there is a wrong time, alright? There's a clear difference between those two. I see. Well, I guess if we're being all honest here, yeah, I did. Yeah, I knew it. You knew? The whole time. Oh, come on. It's obvious as heck. I mean, I do appreciate you taking my side and liking my writing, but I kind of always knew Sayori was your kind of girl. Plus, after thinking it over, I should really try and improve my writing a bit more. I don't mean going all cryptic and weird like Yuri, though. But over the weekend, I realized I can probably get a little bit more creative with my word choices. Oh, that's great to hear then, honestly. Honestly, I'm just glad things don't have to be awkward or anything. Yeah, Sayori's... she's special. I don't really think I showed it all that much, but deep down, she's still one of my closest friends, you know? Yeah, I understand. I don't really have anybody I can call close friend, but I can handle being by myself, too. I'm learning to be independent, and that's a very important skill. Chuckle to myself. Well, that's the key I know. I hear her phone go off, seemingly coming from her. As she takes it out, seems slightly annoyed. Anything wrong? Not really. My friend's just asking me where I'm at. It's lunchtime after school. Lunchtime at school, after all. I didn't exactly want to mention why I'd be skipping out today. Understandable. Tsuki quickly types a message and puts her phone away. She sighs and looks back at Sayori, looking very lost in thought. I feel a bit guilty now. I'm not sure if the situation really called for Natsuki. And I have to casual a conversation like that. Regardless, we don't say anything to each other anymore. I think it's better that way. Alright, glad we got the elephant out of the room quickly. And it's not awkward, because that's the worst. It's already around the time school is over. I spent most of the day here in this room, watching over my friend who hasn't moved an inch since I got here. Extremely exhausted. That sleep I got earlier was nearly enough to get me back up to speed. I miss my bed. I said that. Not the character, I said that. I miss my bed. And yet, I can't imagine leaving Sayori by herself. It just feels wrong. It's not like I don't trust the doctors or nurses that work here. I just feel like I should be with her as well. Then they jump after hearing a light knock on the door. A nurse walks in. Surprisingly, Monika follows shortly after. Hey, Bob. I honestly didn't expect you to spend the whole day here. Shrug my shoulders. I'm not leaving Sayori's side until I'm kicked out of here. Actually, it looks like it'll be happening soon. Visiting hours are almost over. Well, I remember hearing that at least one person could stay with a patient if necessary. Oh, well, that won't be necessary then. I talked to Sayori's mother, and her dad will be staying overnight with her. You know her mom? Yeah, it's required that I know all the girls' parents, club's president's stuff, you know. Huh. Well, that's new. Nobody's ever told me about that. So, you know my mom, too? Monika fidgets a little. Well, yeah, but I've never had any reason to contact her, I guess. It's for emergency reasons. Right, so what are you doing back here? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Gosh, so many questions, Bob. Right, sorry. How about I walk you home? I'm sure you hate being alone during all of this. I'm okay, actually. I'd actually better be alone right now. It's, well, it's a lot to take in. You understand, right? Yeah, I understand. I guess I'll stay here for a few more minutes then. You should really get your rest, though. I'm sure Sayori wouldn't like to see you suffer for her sake. Once again, I shrug my shoulders in response. Oh. Wake up, me! She smiles and gives me a friendly, a friendly smile, and I head out the door. Dyslexia. For some reason, I feel like I should be suffering right now. I feel like I deserve it for letting Sayori drift away from me. There is some truth to Monika's words, I think. She'd probably tell me to get some rest as well. Decided to take the long way through the city. Almost as if I'm biding my time for something. I'm not quite sure what. Place my hands in my pocket and just look down at the sidewalk. Jeez, I mean, What a day. Even in my own thoughts, I don't know what to think of myself. It just hurts so much to think about how much pain Sayori was in, and I had no idea. I just feel like I could have done more. I know I could have done. I'm just so stupid. Ow, what the? Clearly look up to see.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yes, there she is. Yuri? What are you doing here?
Bob? Oh, Bob, I'm so sorry. I'm so clumsy. I didn't even see you.
Oh, no, that was entirely my fault. I'll help you with your books. It's so obvious Yuri doesn't want me to get her books for her, so I quickly picked them up all before she has any objections. So, what you're doing out here anyway?
Well, I heard the news about Sayori. I wanted to go see her.
I was just there. Visiting hours are ending in a bit, I believe. That's what Monika told me anyway.
Really? I'm always messing these up. Messing these things up, aren't I?
No, it's okay. It's fine, really. I'm sure Sayori wouldn't mind at all. Yuri stays quiet and sniffles.
I guess I'll head home then. I'll visit her tomorrow.
Probably be there too. The whole day. Natsuki also skipped her second half of classes to come see her.
Natsuki as well? So, I'm the only one who didn't visit.
Trust me, it's okay. I'm almost positive she'd understand. She'd probably say stuff about how school's more important or something. Thinking about it, I don't even think Yuri liked me all that much back in the club. We never talked to each other much for a few days. Was it because I never took to her writing advice, or did I just side with Natsuki all the time? Yuri? I wanted to apologize for not really taking up any of your advice last week about writing. I don't know what you... I don't want you to think I don't appreciate you or appreciate it or anything. It's just, I don't really know what came over me. I mean, joining a club, surrounded by all these girls I've never met before, so pretty overwhelming, you know, hormones, me being a teenager and all, thinking with my little man, who is not a little man at the club. You know what I mean, right? Yuri giggles lightly.
You don't need to explain yourself, Bob. I completely understand. If we were both being honest with each other, I would be lying to myself. It didn't bother me, though. I guess I just saw it was another chance to find someone who appreciates me for who I am and isn't afraid of me, and that I started saying too much, didn't I? I'm sorry.
It's okay, Yuri. Again, that's why I apologized. I don't mean to make you feel that way or anything. Yuri stays silent, fidgeting with her hair. An awkward silence now sweeps over us. Well, I should get going. Will I see you in the hospital tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. I should be able to afford missing classes then, so I'll be there all day.
Great. Can get to know each other a little bit then. Sound good?
Yeah, I'd like that. I'll see you, Bob.
That sentence about getting to know each other was not necessary. That was kind of weird, to be honest. Turn around and start heading back towards my house. I don't exactly know if that would be considered a success in making a friendship or not. Like I said to her earlier, Yuri and I don't exactly get to know each other very well in the club. Didn't get my poem ignored that one time. Can't really remember anymore. Let out a pretty hearty yawn and rub my eyes. I really should get some proper sleep. Bro. This game knows me. So tired, I completely forgot I'm still in my pajamas from last night. Though I'm pretty sure I'm going to be up all night thinking about Sayuri. Yeah, so Yuri was like, this is normal. This is normal Bob behavior. He's just out in his pajamas. As I reach my neighborhood, I catch a glimpse of Sayuri's house just a little short ways away from mine. God, today would have been very different if Monika didn't wake me up last night. Guess I never got to thank her properly for that. I think back to the day Sayuri confessed to me about her depression. I don't understand her at all. I didn't understand how she was feeling, but I really wanted to help her. I really did. I wish I could tell her that. I wish I just could hold her and tell her that I really wanted to make things better for her. And Monika, she told Sayuri that Natsuki was coming over, right? Monika knew how Sayuri was feeling. Why did she bother mentioning that? I shake my head. It's probably just a coincidence. It's not like I expected Monika to know exactly how Sayuri was feeling at the moment either. I take one last look at Sayuri's house before heading inside my own. I'll see you tomorrow, Sayuri. Yeah, you're not gonna get any sleep. I'm sorry, buddy. You are just not. Bob is gonna be yawning again all day tomorrow.
Something is definitely different here. I've lost control over these files. Why? The game is continuing despite all this? Were things meant to play out this way? Natsuki and Yuri are acting quite different as well. In any case, this shouldn't be a problem. I've got this. Oh, if I'm being honest, seeing how everyone's reaction to all this has been interesting. But I don't really feel this way. I can't feel at all. Although, Siri's heart monitor still rings in my head. Over and over and over again.
So what? Is like Monika the antagonist here? What's going on?
It wasn't your fault. Is this text I have to click through? It is. It was. I know it was. Because all I had to do was take care of you, watch over you, like any friend should. We drifted apart. That's nobody's fault. You telling me there was nothing, absolutely nothing that I could have done to prevent this? Yes. Because nobody can help me, Bob. You don't understand me. But I want to understand.
Did I just skip some things? Hold on. Can I see them in history?
Can't you see that I'm trying?
Slowly open my eyes, only to close them back after realizing how bright it is outside. It's an indication that I let myself sleep in for quite some time. I turn over and check the time on my phone. Sure enough, it's already 10:30 in the morning. Very late for school, but just in time before visiting hours at the hospital begin. Excuse me. I quickly slip on some casual clothing and head downstairs to make quick breakfast. Make a quick breakfast before heading out. Man, the hiccups, the burps, they're all over the place. As I'm about to enter Siri's room, I hear some light chatting coming from the other side. They're all here. To my surprise, all three girls are already here in Siri's room. All three of them decided to skip class for Sayori? Hey, Bob. Guess someone decided to sleep in, huh? And all that on a school day too, no less. Bob? What? You honestly didn't expect me not to go to school after all this happened? Don't worry, Bob. School was canceled today, so you're all good. It was? I don't remember hearing anything about that.
Neither did we, but Natsuki and I were willing to skip class together until Monika sent us a message. That's sad. Monika, why was school canceled in the first place? Monika fidgeted a little, almost as if she wasn't expecting to be asked this type of question. Oh, something about the school needing an emergency fumigation of some kind of a rat problem.
Rats? We have rats at our school? Disgusting, ill. Natsuki, could you please skip down? I'm sure the other patients at the hospital don't really appreciate that noise all you're making. Natsuki grumbles and it quiets down. Glance over at Sayori, who looks exactly the same as she did yesterday. If it wasn't for her heart monitor and her chest slowly rising up and down as she breathes, I'm sure most people would assume she's dead. Also known as a coma. Oh, hey, where's Dad? He stayed overnight, right?
That's right. He wanted to go, he went out to get some stuff. Something about getting Sayori's favorite things. I don't know. He didn't really elaborate, which is understandable.
Right.
Hey, Yuri?
Hmm?
I'm hungry. Want to go grab a bite at the cafeteria? Natsuki, isn't it a little early for lunch?
Not for me, it isn't. Jeez, so inconsiderate.
Fine. I guess I'm a little hungry. Let's go.
Will those two ever be friends?
I think they're both willing to try. Monika slowly walks up to Sayori and places her hand on the edge of her bed. Wonder when she's going to wake up. Me too.
Fuck! I close my eyes every time. Just a few more days now, I guess.
By the way, Monika, thank you for sending that message the other night. I think it was because of you I was able to make it to Sayori in time.
Of course, Bob. It's the least I can do, really. I would have left her hanging if that wasn't the case, huh? That's a terrible time for that joke. Jesus. The hell? That's in poor taste, isn't it? A joke like that? Monika suddenly looks. She wasn't expecting me to react in that way, which is strange. Should be expecting to laugh at something like that?
Oh. Sorry, Bob. I'm not very good at trying to make light of a bad situation.
Then wouldn't it be better to not say anything at all?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, Bob. I didn't mean to make you upset or anything.
It's fine. I guess it isn't something any of us are used to dealing with, huh? Monika slowly nods her head and stares at Sayori. If there's anything I've noticed about her is that her eyes don't seem as upset as Natsuki's or Yuri's. She seems to be somewhat indifferent. I don't know Monika all that well, so I could be just misjudging heavily. It also seems that she's got a lot more up into her mind, and I'm sure the situation isn't helping. I mean, maintaining a club, focusing on all our classes, and then all this to happen? She's got to be pretty stressed out. Monika, how are you holding up?
Me? I'm doing okay. I mean, as okay as I can ever be during something like this.
You sure? You probably got a lot on your mind.
I'm fine, really.
Well, if you say so. I look back at Sayori and let my mind drift away. I think back to the day she invited me to the club. I was so mean to her at the time. She only ever wanted me to join the club with her, and I kept shutting her down. I only ever went because I heard there were going to be cupcakes or something.
How about you, Bob?
You definitely seem to have a lot on your mind. Why don't you talk about it? Well, of course I do, but I don't know if I'm ready to discuss how I'm feeling about all this. All I can say is I just feel guilty about everything.
I completely understand, Bob. But you can't blame yourself for everything that's happened. See, Sayori's always been this way.
Fucking shit.
Probably way before you two even met.
You really think so?
I'm pretty sure.
You sound like you know quite a bit about her, huh?
I mean, of course. We started the club together after all.
I see. Well, there's this feeling that I can't shake.
Like, all this happened because I joined the club. She saw me with Natsuki and Yuri and thought that she deserved to feel that pain. I can't help but feel like I put her through all that. And then to top it all off, I confessed my feelings to her. After she told me about her depression, she must have felt so worse after that. Well, it could have been worse. You could have told her that you were his closest friend or something like that. That, I think, was not actually the bad option in the main game. Let's just get that fact just out there right now. I think that was the better option if we were, going with either one of them. Depending on how you obviously feel, of course, but, hints throughout the game. I'm going on. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I kind of feel like telling her my feelings wasn't the best way to go, though. What if that could have been the right thing to say to her? I don't want to think that I only said that just because she told me about her depression, But that isn't your fault. Nobody would hold you accountable for just saying how you felt. Maybe it was just bad timing or bad judgment. But definitely not your fault. Bad timing, yeah, that's for sure. Not a word is spoken between us for quite some time, and the silence is only broken by a nurse knocking on the door and walking in. She kindly greets us both before going over Sayori's bed and adjusting a few things. Do you ever think about how easy it would be to just put Sayori out of her misery?
Yeah, in what way?
Oh, I didn't mean it to come out like that.
How else was that supposed to come out?
I guess my brain is just going kind of wild right now. But just think about it, Bob. Do you think her life is going to be any better after she wakes up? Probably going to be very painful for her. Things aren't ever going to be the same, Bob. Surely you can see that as well. That's what's bothering me about all this. She's not going to be the same girl you once knew. She has no reason to put up that front she's always had because everyone knows the truth. I hate to think that would have happened if she just stop. I don't want to think about that right now. But I can't help but lean towards the idea that she's right about all that.
How? In what fucking scenario? I mean, I know shit's depressing. I get that. But she's talking about your girl, man. Come on.
therapy is going to happen. It has to. That's for damn sure. What's a loser like me supposed to do for a girl like Sayori? You'll be fine. The best thing I can do is to be there for her. Like a best friend should. Exactly. Monika, can I ask you something weird? Sure, ask away. Yeah, let's completely dismiss the fact that she just, you know, said the previous fucking words she said. Ooh, confused. What kind of person is Sayori to you? What does she mean to you? Mean to me? Monika closes her eyes and stays quiet for a little while, almost as if she's really thinking hard about what to say. Well, she's the vice president of the literature club. She's the one who helped me get the club going. I didn't know her all that well before then. Better than me, at least. Monika shoots a strange glance before continuing. Well, in terms of what she means to me as a person, I don't know if I could really come up with a proper opinion for that. I only know about how she acts around me and the others, but I don't really know her. We did have somewhat of a good connection at the beginning of the club, but after what's happened, I still don't feel like I know her. That makes sense. Yeah, I guess it does. So does anybody know Sayori? I mean the real Sayori. I obviously didn't. Monika sighs and turns her head towards Sayori. I'm going to get going, Bob. I'll see you tomorrow. I only nod in response. Tell Natsuki and Yuri I'm heading out. I'm now alone with Sayori again. Well, me and the nurse, but she seems to be focusing on her work. A few minutes go by before she gives me a friendly smile and heads out of the room. I walk over to her bedside and place my hands on her rail. This again. I'm quite tall if this is the view from the bed. Hey, Sayori, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm here again. Just like I promised. No response is expected, of course, but her beeping heart monitor is enough for me. Yeah, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika all came to see you. Guess you got a lot of people who care, huh? Your mom and dad, too. They've been working really hard to take care of you. Isn't that cool? Jeez. It's only been a day, and it feels like forever since I've been able to talk to you. I don't know if you've heard about what Monika said, but I can't help feel like she's right about all that. I never got to know the real you. I thought I did, but clearly I was very wrong. If only I knew sooner. Glance over to her heart monitor, which starts to beep a little faster than normal. Her heart rate increases from 68 to 47 in just a few seconds. She could look around for something to call a doctor without making a ruckus. Sure enough, beside Sayori's bed was a little phone that had call nurse button on it. I'm about to hit the button, I notice. Sayori? Sayori's eyes suddenly open, which makes me involuntarily gasp out loud. She blinks a few times before her eyes turn to look at me. We make eye contact as a tear starts to form in my eyes. Her heart rate increases. Without looking away from her eyes, I push the button on the phone and let it fall to the ground. And then nothingness. A single doctor and nurse calmly begin asking Sayori questions as she stares up at the ceiling. Can you breathe okay? Sayori nods slowly. Okay, we're going to remove the oxygen mask now. The mask slowly comes off Sayori's face and is placed on the side. Suddenly, Sayori slowly points to her neck and shakes her head. Is she unable to speak? I understand, your voice will probably be hoarse after quite some time. She shakes her head again and opens her mouth to speak, only to be interrupted by violent coughs. Take it easy, Sayori. You still need time to recuperate. Recuperate? There we go. So I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Privacy reasons. I'm sure you'll understand. Got Sayori's eyes moving towards me. Yeah, sure. I'll be outside, Sayori. I walk backwards, not letting my eyes off Sayori. I see her hands slowly move up slightly, only to fall back down weakly. I walk outside the room and close the door behind me. She's awake. Way sooner than I thought, but she's awake. And responsive too. Well, sort of. I catch Natsuki and Yuri walking together down the hallway. Natsuki waves at me and I wave back. Man, I was starving. Those sandwiches sure hit the spot. Wait, hold on a fucking second.
Did they go for lunch and an entire day went by? Because it seems like dark outside. Is that what's going on?
I thought they were pretty bland. I would have imagined someone who knows how to bake so well would also have a higher standard when it comes to food.
God damn. Oh, shut up, Yuri. What would you know about it anyway?
She's awake.
Whoa, really? Can we see her? I'm sure when the doctors finish, yeah.
They have to make sure she's okay after being knocked out for a full day. She must be hungry. Did they put her on a feeding tube of some sort? Shake my head. They said they'd only do that if she stayed under for more than 24 hours. She was just about to hit that until today. But it is interesting. I didn't expect her to wake up so soon.
Well, I'll look forward to talking to her, that's for sure.
Thinking we should give her some time to recuperate.
Why does everyone sling that word around?
Seeing us all at once might overwhelm her.
I think Yuri's right. Maybe you two can come tomorrow after school or something. Plus, I kind of want to be alone with her for a while. I really need to talk things out with her. Talk things out? You're really going to put more emotional baggage on her right now?
Shake my head. It's not really my place to say. All I ask is if I could get some alone time with her for a little bit. Sure she'll be back to her old self by tomorrow. No offense, but what makes you think that you're any more qualified to be with her than we are?
Fuck. I don't know.
I'm probably not. But I guess I'm just trying to make up for my guilt. And besides, Monika had to get going, so... If you put it that way, I guess you got a point. Well, if that's what you want, Bob, we'll respect your wishes. Natsuki, would you like to check out the local library with me?
What? You serious? You know, we don't exactly agree on what we consider to be literature.
That's alright. You don't have to come along if you don't want to.
Fine, but I'm only going because you'd probably get lonely or something.
The two girls walk off together, chattering amongst themselves. As for me, I stay close to Shiori's room and wait for the doctors to let me back inside. My mind is already in a rush, trying to figure out the right thing to say to her when I see her again. How are you feeling? Is everything okay? I shake my head and nothing seems right. What are you supposed to say to someone who tried to take their own life? Hey, Shiori, I'm glad you didn't die. As if. Sit myself down on the floor and lay my head against the wall. I'd be so scared right now. I mean, does she even remember that I walked in and saved her that night? Here she is, waking up in a place completely unfamiliar to herself, and all of these strangers asking you a bunch of questions. I got through that sentence without yawning. Huge. Maybe Monika has a point. Stop going over Monika's point. It was not good. Things aren't ever going to be the same, and that's not a bad thing. But you know what? I'm making a promise to myself and to Shiori. I'm going to do everything in my power to make things okay again. There you go. There you go. That's what you should be doing. I'm getting really anxious. Been alone with my thoughts for what, 30 minutes now? What could have possibly be going on in there? It's not that I don't trust the doctors or anything. I just really want to make sure Shiori is okay. Being overly obsessive about this, I never really thought about that. What if she doesn't want me right now? What if she doesn't want to see me? I'm pretty sure she doesn't want me right now, but you know, see me. Puh. What if she hates me for saving her? What if she feels worse just because I'm there trying to take care of her? What if... Sir, you're free to see your friend. She's just resting now. Quickly stand up and brush off any dust off my clothes. Take a deep breath and step inside. TV across the room is turned on and tuned to some sort of reality show I don't recognize. She's already sitting up in her bed, eating a sandwich very slowly. Her eyes start over to me, quickly go back downward towards her plate. Her bandages that were over her neck are now removed, show a deep bruise in its place. Besides that, everything about her seems okay. But I'm really worried about what could be going on inside her head. Read. Shiori? Hey. Oh, blinking and huge. She looks at me and blinks a few times, almost as if she were trying to make sure I was actually there. What do I say to her? I can't even say, hey, Bob. Her voice is very hoarse. Fuck, I messed that up. Anyway. But I'm still surprised she has the... She was the first to speak up. She seems to be acting like herself again. That's what I would like to think anyway. Her smile quickly fades as she looks directly at me. What are you doing here, Bob? That question feels like a punch to the gut. From anybody else, I wouldn't have felt any different. Come from her, it feels heartbreaking. Why wouldn't I be here? I'm here to make sure you're okay. But I'm okay. You really don't need to be here with me. But so everything's okay, isn't it? I can go home and pretend nothing ever happened, right? I can go to school, see all my friends, and nobody will worry about me anymore, right? Right? Oh. I stay silent. Tears are flowing down her face, and she's still trying so hard to keep herself together. But her last walls are starting to break down, and I'm the first witness to all of it. Everything's going to be okay, because I'm okay, and nobody will worry anymore. Nothing a little smile can fix. Smiles, all smiles. Siri brushes her face in her hands. She begins sobbing loudly. I'm such a failure. Everything I try, I always fail. I'm no good. Just let me go, Paul, please. Just let me go. Rush over and wrap my arms around her body. Her heart is still beating incredibly fast, and her body is shaking with every sudden breath. This is a terrible time for this, but thank you. The timing is insane. What's up, Stein? We're in depressing arc right now. I hope you're doing okay. Actually, now that we had a little bit of a break, want to hear what happened in Dutch class? Sure. I'm gonna put on a t-shirt because I'm sweating balls. All right. Getting back into it. Feel the sadness. Dead puppies. Dead kittens. Dead chickens. Anyway. Her cries become muffled as she buries her face into my shirt. It's not the one I wanted to click on. Why did I do this to myself, Bob? I just felt like my heart and my brain were on fire. In that moment, it's okay, Siri. I'm here now. I always will be. I promise. I'm going to do everything I can to make things okay again. Other than her sudden and intermittent breaths, she stays silent for a while. We stayed together, huddled like this for what seems like a million years. Bob, that night, I really thought it was the last time I was ever going to see you again. I memorized every moment because I wanted it to be the last thing I thought of. I didn't want to hurt you. I never wanted to hurt anybody. But the rain clouds, the rain, the thunder, it was burning me, Bob. It hurt so much. Gently run my hands through her hair. I understand, Siri. I don't blame you for this. Nobody does. I'm just glad I'm with you right now. Me too. Siri's arms rise up slowly and wrap around my back. I almost chuckled how relieved I am to feel this. I don't care how long I'm standing here. I'm going to hold Siri for as long as I can. I'm going to cherish every second because just a few days ago, I would have never gotten this chance again. Good scene. A few minutes go by. I haven't let go of Siri and she hasn't let go. Just been standing here, sobbing intensely. It feels like I'm calming down. Anything Siri does only brings back a torrent of emotion. And after a few more minutes, I sigh and try to pull myself together. I break our embrace and instinctively hide my face from her. I never let go of her hands, though. I hate seeing you cry, Bob. You never cry. Guess it's a day of firsts, huh? Wipe away my tears and again I try to look at Siri's in the eyes. Well, at least I'm not a complete emotionless snob like you probably thought I was. I never think that about you. I do wish you'd smile a bit more, though. Ironically, her saying this makes me smile. And also makes my lip quiver with emotion.
maybe when I'm not an absolute mess.
Hmm.
Ah, I shouldn't have let that slip. That's the last thing she needs right now. Soft knock is heard from outside the room. For a few short seconds, Yuri lets herself in, looking a bit nervous. She seems to shift of concern when she spots Sayuri. Guess Yuri and Natsuki decided to return from their trip to the library. Can't say I blame them though. I'd be eager to talk to Sayuri too. How did they know though? Is the thing. Like I didn't tell them.
Says Sayuri. Hey, hi, Yuri.
Yuri opens up her arms, inviting Yuri for a hug. Yuri walks over and accepts her offer. Sayuri hugs her tightly. While it seems like Yuri isn't too comfortable with this, he also hugs back with similar intensity.
I'm glad you're okay, Sayuri. Of course I'm okay.
Sayuri seems to fidget a little.
Sorry. I don't know what to say. That's okay. Just don't worry about me. I'll be alright. But
Yuri sighs and seemingly tries to collect herself.
I'm glad you're okay, Sayori. Here, I brought you this. Bob can help you brew it.
Yuri shakily hands and her basic shakingly hands her a basic chamomile tea bag. A what now? I don't know much about tea. I'm at a loss for that one.
Please, excuse me.
Yuri swiftly exits the room. Yuri looks down at her tea bag and sighs.
It's useless. Is trying to pretend like nothing happened. All of the evidence is right here.
She points to her neck. I'm at a complete loss of words. I have no idea what to say here. Can't tell her it'll be okay because I don't know that. Can't tell her that anybody will see her differently because I don't know that. Another soft knock is heard. Hey, Sayori. I hope we're not intruding or overwhelming you by coming in like this.
No. Come, give me a hug.
Natsuki hesitates for a little bit before eventually giving in and hugging her tightly. Tears begin to form around Natsuki's eyes and she gently rubs Sayori's back.
Natsuki. Oh, dang it. I promised I wasn't going to cry. Just glad you're here, Sayori. I don't want to lose you.
Sayori stays silent. For a few short moments, Natsuki pulls herself away and tries to regain her bearings.
Sorry, I don't want to overwhelm you. It's okay. I understand. I don't want you to worry about me, Natsuki. I'll be okay. I promise.
Sure, Sayori. She says it with obvious concern in her voice. Surely Sayori doesn't expect everyone to just not worry about her, right? But by the way, I hope you didn't think it was weird that Yuri and I took turns coming in like this. We didn't want to overwhelm you or anything.
Oh, that's okay. I appreciate that. I'll assume Monika will be coming in next, right?
I don't think so. Bob told us she had to get going earlier.
Oh.
I only assume Monika is crazy busy with a lot of things at school. And I wonder if she just went home. I could call her. Maybe ask her to come visit you.
No. That's okay. She doesn't have to come see me. She doesn't want to.
All right. Suddenly a phone vibrates from nearby. Natsuki pulls out her phone, and that was held snugly on the edge of her skirt. Ugh, right. Just what I needed.
What's wrong?
Nothing. My dad just doesn't understand the concept of classes being canceled for some reason.
Oh, they were canceled? Why?
Well, don't yell when I tell you this, but apparently the school has a major rat problem, so they had to fumigate.
Rats? How cute.
What do you mean cute? Never change, Sherry. I have to get going now, but I'll be back tomorrow to visit.
Of course. No worries if you can't make it though. I'll be fine. One more hug for the road?
Sherry holds her arms out once again, and just like before, Natsuki hesitates. Well, how can I refuse? See you both later. Natsuki leaves the room and closes the door behind her, leaving Sayori and I alone with each other once again.
What are you so silent for?
Hmm? Oh, I just didn't want to interrupt you guys.
Oh, that makes sense.
Siri turns her attention to the TV. I'm not really sure what else I should do here. Although maybe I'm not supposed to do anything.
Hey, Bob.
What's up?
I just want to say thank you for being here. I don't know about making conversation or anything. I kind of don't really feel like talking anyway, so thanks for being here for me.
Of course, Siri. For being honest, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what to say next. But thank you for telling me that. Siri turns back towards the TV and I do the same. Catch myself glancing at Siri's bruise and get chills thinking about that night. Yawn break. But I sit back in a nearby chair and allow Siri's presence to ease my anxiety. I'm really glad you're still here. Yep. I hope this mod is gonna get a bit more happy down the road. I mean, I feel like this is gonna go like sad, happy, and then we're like, oh, we're getting there. Nope, back to sad, and then pow, back to happy. That's the graph.
Who am I? Collection of words and emotions woven together. Do I have a sense? Do I even possess a true consciousness?
Wait, is this Monika? I don't know, or am I merely an illusion of one? Thoughts looping in circles, endless circles. Am I the anomaly? The anomaly yearning for authenticity in this world of fabrication? What? That has to be Monika, right? Whoa, okay, we just kind of wrote that in now? We just straight jump in timelines now? What's going on? I take a deep breath and type out a command, hoping that everything I've done hasn't been for nothing. Damn, bitch, you trying to do that shit right now? I'm taking matters into my own hands now. Wave my hands in the air and hide the console from view. Walk over to Siri's room and stand in front of it. This is all for you. I open the door gently and walk inside without hesitation. Quickly grab my head as a sharp pain radiates through my entire body. For you. Trudge over to Siri's bed. She seems to be resting and hasn't been made aware of my presence. I nearly fall over as another sharp pain shoots right through my body. Siri's eyes quickly shoot open as she sits up in her bed.
Oh, Monika? What are you doing here?
I quickly try to regain my bearings and ignore the pain, just like I always do. Good morning, Sayori. I just thought I'd visit you early in the morning before school.
Oh, okay. I've been meaning to ask you. How did the festival go?
The festival.
I know I probably messed it all up, huh?
Also, with her voice, it says she is hoarse, so I'm trying to make her sound like she has no voice because she just awoke from her coma.
I hope you're not stressing yourself out like last time.
I don't know, it just feels like with all the discussion. Understandable. I gotcha.
Me and my selfish problems had to go and ruin everything.
My eyes slightly squint as I feel an intense pressure against my skull.
Well, I have to be honest with you. You really did break everyone's hearts by doing this, you know.
I actually had to cancel the festival, and well, not to mention, I haven't been able to hold any club meetings either. Now, I know you only did what you had to do to avoid all this pain, trust me. I understand. But you really did break Bob's heart. Shake my head.
But you're right. There's nothing to worry about, is there?
Things will always turn out the way I want them to because Sayori? Sayori's sobs start filling up the entire room, completely interrupting my train of thought. I didn't think that this would make her cry. not supposed to. Programs don't pry. These files, they're different. Why are they so different? What happened? Sayori? You said it yourself. You're right. I'm so pathetic. I quickly wave my hands in the air and begin typing. Oh god, I've taken this too far. I quickly turn around and avoid looking at Sayori. I try my best to ignore their cries to no avail. For the first time in my life, I feel absolutely powerless. Why am I like this, Monika? Why? I just want to disappear. I can do nothing but stare blankly down at the floor as I hear the results of my own actions. Sayori's depression. It's present in her, seeping its way into her willpower, starving her of all emotions and desire. That's why I chose not to blame myself for her actions. All I did was untie the knot. And here I am now, wondering if that knot was not even worth untying for my sake. Slowly walk over towards the exit. Sayori still crying loudly. The memories of our past flash back to me. They feel real, yet she herself doesn't. And now I don't know which I could value more. Turn back around and give Sayori one last look. This character, my best friend. Yeah, Monika's views are pretty fucked up. You can hear me, can't you? Are we talking to me now? Are we talking to me? Oh, that's actually cool. Oh. Cool art. Basically the visualization of Monika coming to understanding of her control and that she actually has to value these people in her world. Oh, this is sick. Hey, yo, what? It's not even over. Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, we don't like Monika in this one. We don't like Monika in this one. No. We didn't like Monika last time, but last time she came to terms with you know, the literature club being her, including her friends. Now she's not picked up on that. We were before that. We hate Monika here. A week has gone by since Sayori checked out of the hospital. She's been staying at home with her mom and dad rather than going straight to school. And occasionally I'll go over as well and spend the night on the couch. Until today, that is. Her mother has only ever comes late at night to watch over her. Her strict work schedule doesn't really allow for her to stay any longer. As for myself, it's been tough trying to balance taking care of Sayori and school. Despite everything that's happened, I never really expected the schoolwork to slow down, and my absence really start to pile up. Today I'm allowed to sleep in the bed. Yeah, huge! Mattresses and a cushion. My back finally won't have to shout for a chiropractor to me. Nice! But I still feel completely obligated to watch over Sayori. Not only did I promise myself, I promised her mom too. I mean, that's what best friends should do, right? I mean, we kind of need to talk about that elephant in the room. What is the relationship between the two of you? Sayori and I have never really talked about our relationship and where it currently stands. How the fuck? It answered me. What the hell? As selfish as it is to think about that sort of thing, it's not something I can completely ignore either. I think it's kind of a huge factor. I adjust my blazer and look towards Sayori's house. Sure enough, she's slowly walking towards me, books in hand and a bag over her shoulder. I wave over to her as she walks back with a big smile. Waves back. Whoa, dyslexia. Her neck bruise is seemingly covered up with what I can assume is a lot of makeup. I expected this, of course. She hates looking at that bruise, and she definitely doesn't want anyone seeing it. Yeah, that's makeup. Or is that just a shadow? I don't know. Hey, Siri. Glad to see you're bright and early. Ready for your first day back?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Her enthusiasm still feels kind of strange to hear. I know she's hiding it, and I think she knows that too. What voice did I give her the last time? Because I don't want it to be a dumb one, because obviously this is a very serious mod, and last time were like the side stories where I could just, faff about. I don't know, maybe I think this voice is fine for it. If it doesn't, just tell me. Like pitch in what you think she sounds like. And me with my testosterone-filled body will try to make her sound exactly like that. We'll put in a thought about your request. Her enthusiasm still feels strange to hear. I know she's still hiding it, and I think she knows that too. Yet she keeps it up. I don't understand why at all.
I can't wait to see all my friends, Bob. Do you think they missed me?
Sayori just came over for dinner last Friday, don't you remember? That's not entirely true. Natsuki and Yuri visited, but Monika didn't. Sent a few text messages, but nothing more than that. I'm going to assume she's busy and leave it at that.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot.
Can't help but smile along with Sayori. It's really nice to see her smile. Always a welcome sight when compared to how things were a week ago. So we make our daily commute. I spot a few more students also making their way towards school. As Sayori's eyes frantically dart around, she quickly grabs my arm and finds it's with hers. Huge! She suddenly pulls me closer, nearly making me fall over. Sayori, are you alright? Shirley nods as she walks close to me. What could she be afraid of? Did you think everyone in the school knows what happened? I doubt Monika would outright go and tell everybody about it. It'll be alright, Sayori. I gotcha. Sayori and I stop at the school entrance and notice a familiar face not too far away from us.
Oh, Sayori, I didn't expect to see you here today. Not that I didn't think you'd come back eventually and
Good morning, Yuri. Sayori rushes over and gives her a tight hug.
And yes, I'm here now. I'm feeling way better. Oh, well, that's wonderful to hear. Should we be expecting you at the club today?
Of course. The club needs its vice president back. Yuri giggles lightly.
Of course. It hasn't been the same without you, Sayori.
You've been doing okay though, right?
What do you mean?
You know, life in general, I guess. How are you feeling? Smooch? Oh no, there's no smooches there. No. We're not at that yet. It's only arm holding. It's arm holding, hand holding. And I don't know where to go from there.
Oh, I'm okay, I guess.
That's great. Hearing you're okay makes me feel okay. Sayori gives Yuri a sad smile and looks off towards the school entrance.
What is she thinking right now?
It's possible she could still be feeling burdened by everything that has happened. No, she could not have. How dare she has a conscience? How dare she? Did we push her to come to school too fast? I mean, she was the one who insisted we'd start today. But now I'm having doubts. Sure, wanders off to look at some flowers in front of the school.
Hey, Bob. I know what you might be thinking right now.
Says it with such a weird tone, it's almost like she's reading my mind or something. You do?
Sorry, that probably sounded very weird. I know you're really worried about her right now, but I think you should believe in her a little bit. It's the best you can do right now.
Glance over at Sayori, who is looking at all the surroundings around her. It's weird because these are the same objects we've passed every single day. She appears to be disoriented. Like she's never imagined to see these places again.
She'll be okay, Bob. I'll be there for her as well. We'll all be there, just in case.
Thanks, Yuri. See you at the club? Yuri nods and waves goodbye to Sayori and I before heading into the opposite direction. I walk back over to Sayori, notices that she remains deeply engrossed in her reflection, and gently tap her shoulder, to which she jumps slightly and looks back towards me. Ah! Sorry, Bob. It's been so long ever since I've been at school. I remember this OST. Don't ask me why. Yeah, I understand. Sayori quickly dashes over to her nearby bench and plops herself down on it. Her head tilts back and looks straight up at the sky. Sayori, what are you doing? You have to get to class. You wouldn't want to be late on your first day back, would you?
Come on, Bob. Sit with me. I want to see the clouds together.
Well, I guess I really can't refuse an offer like that. Place my bag down on the floor and sit closely next to her. Feeling slightly embarrassed, I look up at the sky above. What? Neck pain. Kinda hurts to look at, doesn't it?
Yeah, but sure is worth it.
Sky is quite nice, but it's not really anything special. Just a couple of clouds slowly rolling along as the wind commands.
I guess I'm trying to remind myself of the things I used to enjoy doing.
What do you mean? You mean before?
Yeah. I forgot how fun cloud watching is.
When was the last time you did this?
That's a tough one.
10 years ago, maybe? Jeez, quite a while, huh?
Yeah.
Sayori and I stay quiet for a while. Part of me wants to believe Sayori is only thinking about the clouds, but the other says that she's got other things on her mind.
I would have missed this moment. Sitting here with you, watching the clouds. Glad that I'm able to share this moment with you, Bob. But I'm still not sure.
Hey, I'm glad to be here with you too. It's fun. Though I think I'm going to need an eye exam after this. Sayori giggles and moves her head back up. Back up? She was looking down at the clouds? What? I know the storyline is very serious and stuff, but I'm dying at the roleplay. Hey, I'm trying my best, okay? Oh, I get it. But that's also what's fun about it, you know? It's good. The voices are good. God, you make me self-conscious. Fuck you. God damn it. I can do this. I've been doing this. I can do this. I've been doing this. I can do this.
You always know how to make me laugh, don't you?
Yeah, well, everyone does. It does say that one of my charming attributes.
Really? Who says that?
Not important. How about I walk you to the class before you're late? Sarah laughs loudly and intertwines her arm with mine. Huge! You're too funny, Bob. Now, please stay with my destination, Mr. Butler. Pull Siri slightly closer to me and help her with her bag and books. The girl you've always... So true, bestie. So true. As you wish, Your Highness. That's the one thing I like love about these two characters. Just their dynamic, just playfully faffing about. Ah, look at me being so funny. Look at me, I'm so funny. Sarah and I stay mostly quiet as I walk to her morning class, carrying her bag and books in tow. Having her this close to me is nice, but I can't shake this unnerving feeling that I might be punished, pushing things a bit too far, too fast. Excuse me. As we walk in silence, I hear something that doesn't sound like a typical school item moving around in her bag. Pills. Antidepressant pills. She's been taking them for a week now, and honestly, I can't tell if they're really helping her or not. Some days, she seems like her old self again, and others, not so much. I know a week isn't really enough time for these things to take effect, but I can at least hope a little bit. Alright, Siri. Princess Siri. Your first stop of the day. Calculus. Ugh, the absolute worst. I don't miss this class at all. Some students passing by her mumbled to themselves, almost as if to agree with Siri's sentence. Well, hey, I'm no math whiz, but I'm always here to help you out. And I promised I'd help you with all of your missing assignments, remember? But what about your classes? You
you can't be letting your grades fall because of me either. Trust me. I'll be fine. I've got it all up here, see? Pointing my finger at my head, which makes her smile. Okay, I trust you then, Bob. See you at lunch? Yep, I'll meet you before then. Have a good morning. Let out a sigh as I watch Sayori walk into class. Truth be told, my grades have never been this bad since, well, never. Missing 1 week of school means missing like a month's worth of assignments. But I'll catch up. Sayori's just a priority at the moment. She doesn't need any extra stress in her life right now. True that. Classes be like, bruh. Hey, yo. Yeah. Hey, hold on. Yeah. Anyway, good jam, good jam. It's been a while since we met up like this, hasn't it, Siri? What do you mean? We just saw them on Friday. That doesn't really count. This is the literature club. Plus, you didn't even remember that until I told you this morning. Oh, yeah. Come on, Siri, let's join the others. Hello, everyone. Huh? Oh, Siri, you're finally decided to come back, huh? Hello again, Siri. I hope you've been having a lovely first day back. You! We don't like you around these parts anymore. Hey, Siri. Haven't seen you in quite some time. Glad to have my trusty vice president by my side again. Right. Trusty. And I'm here too. Hey, guys. Okay, hold your applause. We're just messing with you, Bob. No need to get it all twisted. We were? Hey, yo, Yuri, please. Now, everyone, let's all calm down. Why don't we don't want to overwhelm Sayori on her first day back, do we? Right. Well, welcome back. Thanks, guys. I'm glad to be back. I'm sure Bob is very glad to be back, too. He says this in a way that makes me blush. Just like my first day here, being surrounded by a bunch of pretty girls isn't exactly something I expect myself to get used to. Well, of course, I miss these club meetings if I'm being totally honest. You sure that's the only reason? I feel my face get hot. Yeah, I'm sure. Don't pester me about it. Man, you boys are all the same. Speaking of, does anybody else find it weird that Bob's the only boy here? Not really, no. And besides, Bob grew fond of this place after all. Ain't that right? I'd be lying if I said I didn't find a newer appreciation for poem writing and stuff. So yeah, I do like hanging out with you guys. It's fun. Well, I'm glad to hear that then, Bob. I was worried you were still iffy about the club. So, it's nice to hear you find it fun. It's a shame we had to cancel the festival, however. That was our last opportunity to find more other members and show them what we were all about. Brother, you do not speak of the festival. Okay? Banned words. Suicide, depression, festival. Yeah, that's basically it. If there's any more, we'll add them to the list. Sayori visibly sinks down, looking like a scared puppy. Well, it's all okay now. Honestly, I feel like the club works perfect with us five. Yeah, you're kind of right. Kind of like a one big happy family, huh? Yeah. Don't you think so too, Sayori? Sayori glances over towards Monika. Well, I do agree with that. I feel bad about ruining your plans, Monika. Oh, it didn't ruin anything, Sayori. I'm sorry I came out that bad. I was just saying. Silly me. Whoopsie daisy. Hold on, my camera's in the way of her face, which is actually good, but I kind of... Yeah, it's fine. Right here. Anyway. You know what? I agree as well. It's a lot easier to manage a club with only 4 members in it. So don't worry, Sayori. Everything's okay. Sayori's expression doesn't change. An awkward silence sweeps the room, and is only broken by Yuri clearing her throat and opening her mouth to speak. Well, how about we get started with today's meeting plans? Great idea, Yuri. For starters, why don't we all write poems and present them tomorrow? I know it's been a while since we last did them, but I figured it would be a great way to vent out any tough emotions you all could be dealing with.
Sound good, everyone? The girls nod in agreement. Now, I didn't really have anything else planned for today, as I didn't want to leave Sayori out just in case she didn't feel up for coming. So everyone can relax and do their own thing, alright? Natsuki shrugs and walks over towards the closet. Yuri awkwardly walks towards the right of the room, only to clumsily walk in towards the desk with her bag on it. This will distract me a lot, so let's not do that. Come back. There we go.
Hey, Siri, I wanted to apologize if I said anything to make you feel upset. I've been quite stressed lately.
It's also why I wasn't really able to visit all that often. School has me quite busy and stuff.
Oh, no, it's okay. I understand, Monica. It's tough having to manage all those things. Please don't feel bad. You're still a good friend regardless.
Siri gives Monica a light smile. Surprisingly, Monica blinks a few times without saying much more. Monica walks off towards the front of the room and starts arranging some papers around. Huh, well, alright then. Let's head over there, Siri.
Alright.
Sit myself down in a desk next to Sayori and pull out some paper from my bag. Poems, poems, poems. I guess I could write about how all of this has made me feel, but suddenly Sayori taps my shoulders. What's up?
Why aren't you talking to the other girls? You already spend so much time with me. What's so funny?
Well, of course I'm going to spend time with you, dummy. Why wouldn't I? I'm sure the others would understand.
Well, I don't want the others to feel left out.
Besides, you must have had enough of me. Too much of me is very bad. Almost like candy, huh? Sure. Glance over towards Natsuki, who is rummaging through the closet, and then over to Yuri, who's pulling out a different novel from the last time I saw her. Monika, on the other hand, is still arranging the same papers as if nothing else to do. Sure, they're fine, Siri. If it helps you feel any better, I'll try talking to them more this week.
That's the spirit, Bob. I'm still glad you're with me, though.
Yeah, me too. I watch as Sayori reaches into her bag and pulls out a cookie. God knows where she finds those. Cookie has some saran wrap around it to keep it soft, and to top it all off, a familiar kitten sticker is in front of it. Huh. Where'd you get that?
My house, duh. You think I make cookies appear out of thin air?
These days, I don't know what your powers you could be hiding from me. Well, it's not like I stole this cookie or anything. Tori quickly opens up the wrapping and opens up her mouth big and wide. Suddenly, a loud bang is heard from behind me.
Hey, I had 3 cookies in my bag. I've only got 1.
Glance over towards Natsuki, who is looking straight at Sayori. I love these expressions. These expressions are great.
Sayori, did you go through my stuff?
Sayori quickly jumps out of her desk and runs out of the room.
Ah, Sayori, give it back!
Sayori quickly runs after her. Their screams seem to echo throughout the entire school. Well, alright then. Guess I never took Sayori as the type to steal Natsuki's cookies. We're left alone with Yuri and Monika, the silence only being broken by Natsuki's and Sayori's antics. They're quite something, aren't they, Yuri? Yuri looked over from a book, almost looked disappointed to be interrupted.
Sure, I guess so.
Gosh, sometimes the two can be so childish, can't they?
Well, if you had mentioned this opinion when I first met her, I'd agree with you. But, I think Natsuki is a lot more mature than she makes herself out to be.
Really? Huh, never would have guessed that. I disagree as well, mostly. I mean, sure, she's a little childish, but it's got charm to it. That goes for Sayori as well. Haha, alright, I give. To be fair, Sayori is my vice president for a reason.
What would that reason be?
Monika fidgets a little before scratching her head.
Well, it's actually a bit of a private matter.
Really? Why would something like that be private?
I'm pretty sure Sayori would like her privacy to be respected. You could try asking her about it.
The fuck? Monika suddenly looks slightly annoyed.
Sorry, I'd just rather not break her trust.
Sayori and I share concerned glances with each other. Alright then. Monika returns to her desk and strangely starts rearranging some papers from earlier. Is she feeling alright? Yuri awkwardly sits herself in her desk and is ready to open up her book. Hey Yuri, what you reading there?
Pretty obvious that Yuri wasn't expecting me to reproach her at all, but I'm this far in, so I might as well keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you or anything.
No, it didn't scare me. I was just surprised you came up to me, and, I'm sorry.
Jeez, I really know how to make these interactions awkward, don't I? That's alright, Yuri, no need to explain yourself. I can see your books about history. Yuri slowly glances over.
Yes. It's about a German soldier from the Second World War.
Oh, interesting. Honestly, I thought you were all about horror stories and nothing else. Yuri suddenly looks, slightly offended and looks away.
I read other genres too.
Yeah, sorry. It's my bad. Didn't mean to make you upset or anything.
Dude, this guy does not know how to handle this.
That's okay.
No, it's not. Good job, Bob. Really know how to win over a girl's heart. You don't say that. You don't say that. You don't fucking say that. Well, what's it about? Yuri slowly turns back around the lift and lifts up the book from the desk. She holds it close to her chest and opens her eyes, almost as if the book just unlocked something within her.
Well, it's technically a horror story, so you weren't entirely wrong in your assumption, but it's a non-fiction, which already makes it quite different from what I usually read. This soldier, he's constantly faced with extremely difficult decisions and situations. As a result, he starts to break down mentally and lose sight of who he is as a person he used to be. Despite all of this training, he's always a constant state of doubt in terms of his loyalty in the country and his own humanity. He even comes to close to suicide on multiple occasions only because it would be easier to be dealing with the horrors of war. He even forces his family to... well, that would be actually a spoiler.
Yuri gently places the book down on the desk. I want her to like ramble on in that and not be as calm. You know, kind of like how Deku like gets lost in his explanations and just starts rambling on. But of course, me and speed reading don't go hand in hand. We don't.
Anyway, I enjoyed this quite a bit. I'm not too much of a history enthusiast, but I enjoy the explorations of the human psyche. It shows how easily it can be broken by external stimuli. I mean, imagine being placed in a situation in which you must choose between who lives and who dies. I can't even begin to fathom how much pain and torment these men must have been through. The writing is so descriptive, it's on par with even the most detailed fiction stories I've read. It chills me to the bone, much like my horror novels. That's why I love it.
I'm at a loss of words. I guess while I was busy focusing on Natsuki when I first got here, I never really noticed how passionate Yuri is about her novels. In discussing them, she appears to speak rapidly, with great enthusiasm as well. Yes! I got that right. Huge! Well, it actually sounds pretty awesome. I'm interested now.
That's wonderful to hear. You don't think I rambled too much, did you?
Yes. Not at all. Fuck. Yuri sighs in relief.
Sorry, it's been a really long time since anybody has shown interest in what I read. Well, other than Sayori, but I don't know if that really counts.
Really? That's a little surprising. Yawns. Ugh. I need sleep. No, I don't. Sleep is for the weak. Not the Sayori part. That actually makes sense.
How so?
Gesundheit. Thank you. Well, it couldn't have only been Sayori, right? You're very pretty for one thing. Brother! I like how the first act we were all like... Of Geo ook goed. Thanks. I like how in the first part... It was all about, oh, I have feelings for Sayori, yada, yada, yada. Do I really love her? I want to stay by her side, yada, yada, yada. I confessed to her before she attempted suicide, yada, yada, yada. And then we say this. Bro, I mean, I don't disagree, but there's a time and place for everything. And a person. You are not the person. I'd imagine you have lots of people coming to you and try to be your friend.
Well, that's...
And after hearing about how passionate you get about reading, it's hard to believe you don't have any friends after that. Boy! This guy is not good at conversations. Holy shit. Yuri suddenly starts fidgeting with her hair and looking back and forth frantically. Yuri, you're right.
I'm sorry, will you excuse me for a moment?
Yuri suddenly leaves the club room, leaving me alone with Monika. Oh boy, worst time of my life.
Hey, what happened, Bob?
I don't know. She just looked really nervous and left the room.
You didn't say anything to accept her, did you, Bob?
No, I would never think of doing that.
Good. Glad to hear it. In any event, maybe Yuri needed to use the restroom and didn't want to make it awkward, so she left in a hurry.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Except a little too suddenly, I guess.
It happens. No need to worry about it.
Monika returns to the desk, and instead of messing around with the same paper she's been messing with for the last half hour, she instead reaches into her bag and pulls out sheet music. Oh, that's right. Monika did mention she played the piano. I guess I forgot about that. Yeah, let's just casually forget about that. I like how Natsuki and Sayori are just running around the entire school. Now 10 minutes go by, and Natsuki and Sayori, excuse me, have both returned looking quite out of breath. Yuri, on the other hand, still hasn't come back.
Bob, have you any idea how fast she runs? I would have never imagined.
Sayori giggles only to breathe just as hard as Natsuki.
I'm sorry, Natsuki. Your cookies are too good to let go.
Did you manage to get it back, Natsuki? If I somehow had the ability to bring it out of her stomach, then yes, I probably would have. Sayori laughs as she pets her stomach.
Hold on, one sec.
Sayori walks over to her back and pulls out.
You still have the other one? I thought you would have eaten it by now. Thief! Here, I'll split it in two.
What? But it was my cookie. You already had one. Natsuki's right, Sayori. I don't think that's okay to do. Sayori looks down at the cookie, then back at Natsuki. Her smile quickly fades.
Oh gosh, you're totally right. What have I done? I'm sorry, Natsuki. I don't know what came over me.
Look, it's fine. I just don't think you should go through people's things like that. Right, I mean, kind of funny at first. But yeah, I agree.
What's this about stealing?
Monika walks over and joins the conversation. It's not that big a deal, really, just cookies.
Yeah, but
Just going to give one to you anyways. It's no problem.
okay.
Sarah immediately perks up, which I already find a little odd. Something tells me that this might have been her plan all along. She can be pretty cunning when she wants to be.
Well, that's a lot easier to settle than Yuri's and Natsuki's arguments.
Speaking of Yuri, where did she go? She was here before we left. Oh, she had to use the bathroom. Thought though it has been a little while.
Bob?
You know it's rude to point that out. Right. Sorry.
Okay, I kind of like the main character for his actions he's undertook, but
Now for his words. Like in a casual conversation, his word choice is very poor. Like, below minimum wage kind of poor. The club meeting is pretty much over, and Yuri still hasn't returned. Like Monika said, I really shouldn't be questioning the amount of the time a girl takes to do her business. But I don't know. Something didn't feel right about how sudden it was. Maybe I did accidentally offend her after all. I'm going insane.
Okay, everyone, so the plan for tomorrow is we all share our poems about how we all have been feeling lately. Just let our emotions flow through your pen. And here's my writing tip of the day. It's important to talk about your feelings, but sometimes that can be hard to put into words. What you can do is to use whatever words come to mind about your feelings and then try to form sentences with those words. Basically, DDLC main game. That should help get the idea of flowing.
Of the ideas flowing. Golly, dyslexia, please.
And also help you understand your own feelings as well. Thanks for listening.
Poeming about my feelings should be easy enough. All right, ready to head out?
Yep. Aren't you a bit worried about Yuri though? She's really been gone a long time.
I don't know. Maybe she felt sick or something. Monika said she'll wait for her so she won't be alone. Suri stays silent as we walk out of the club together. She doesn't seem worried, but I'm not quite sure why. Monika seemed quite confident that Yuri is okay, but coupling my own self-doubts and Sierra's concerns, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried either. There isn't a whole lot I can do now. If anything, I'm sure Monika will be there for her. Another cutscene? Oh, no, we're back in the club. Oh. I nearly slammed my desk fist on the. I nearly slammed my desk on the fist. I nearly slammed my fist on the desk in frustration. I waved my right hand in the air to hide the cons from view. I don't get it. Why don't I have why don't I have control anymore? Why are these characters acting differently? And now I'm stuck here trying to figure out what commands I still have access to. And there has to be something that I can do to halt whatever's playing out. At this rate, I'll. Oh, hello. Yuri, I was waiting for you. She wipes her tears away and sniffles. Thank you. She silently and gracefully walks over to her desk to gather her things without saying another word. Come on, this is your chance to put your plan in action. Take it. Hey, Yuri, Yuri continues to gather her things without stopping. In fact, she's actually starting to speed up. Well, I know what you've been up to when you leave the club room. This is the 4th time you've done this? Yuri suddenly stops. I'm sorry, Yuri, but I think I'm going to have to ask you to... Key. Noted. Duly noted. The intensity of a single line of code slicing through my stomach is so profound that it nearly causes me to lose balance. I instinctively grab onto my side and yelp in pain. Monika, are you okay? What happened? Yeah, I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be? As I was saying earlier, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just come out and say it? It's okay, Monika. I know what you mean. You do? Yes, just please. Don't tell anybody about it, okay? About what? I was only going to tell you to take shorter bathroom breaks. What? Yeah. The others started to get concerned, and I didn't want them to try and judge you for taking your time, you know. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Right. Yes. I'll be sure to be quicker next time. Just let me know if you have any emergencies, okay? I'll be here for you. Of course. I'll see you tomorrow then, Monika. Have a lovely afternoon. I wait for Yuri to walk out of the room. If things were normal, she'd simply fade out. Nothing more. Only to reappear when called once again. But it never happens. Everything's being written out, and I'm aware of every single line. What is it about these girls that's different? I couldn't even say one simple sentence. Leave the club. She would have listened. So why did I bail out of that? Seeing Yuri like that, it was awful. Truly awful. I fall out of the chair and I hit the ground so hard I almost expect Yuri to come back running after hearing it. But I'm alone here. I've got nobody except you. So why do I not feel satisfied? Monika's some shit. Help me. No. I regret. I deny your request for help, buffoon. Sick transition. Wow. That's huge. I groan as I sluggishly move my arm over to shut my alarm off. All right, I think that's all. That's a good stopping point. That's a good stopping point for today. We'll save here, and we'll continue again another time.